But I got to the bus station and walked in, and the guy said, "Get out!" "What are you talking? What?" He said, "Get out of here, go around the back." I said, "What's back there?" He says, "You'll see, get out of here." You can't go in the front. You have to go in the colored people's waiting room in the back, you know. And there's no point in hanging around for high school graduation, so I went down to the induction center and told the guy I wanted to join the Marine Corps. And he said, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'm 17 and a half. He says, parents got to sign that piece of paper." So I took it home and forged my mother's signature and brought it back the next day. And he asked me, did my parents sign the form? And I said, "Yes, sir." And he sent me into another room and I got a physical exam, and this was in 1945. And I found out later that they were really trying to get as many people in and trained as possible because they were looking forward to the invasion of Japan. I passed the physical and everything and went home and told my mom what was going on, and she slapped me and called me all kinds of stupid idiots and told me I was going to die and all this business. You know, she was upset. And but she got over it, and 3 days later I was gone. When we left Washington, D.C., we were all excited. You know, there was one guy, he was older than the rest of us. I think he was 22 or something like that. And he was in charge of us. And then I realized that I was getting off in North Carolina and they were going to South Carolina. These were all people going in the Marine Corps, and they were going to Parris Island, South Carolina. The conductor, or the guy that came through the train, collecting tickets and things, and we had what we call transportation requests that they give you, so we didn't have tickets. And they came to our car and they said, "What are you doing here?" And I, "What do you mean, what am I doing here? I'm going to the Marine Corps, you know." He says, "No, you got to go in the colored people's car." "What?" He said, "You got to go in the color. Where's the colored people's car?" And the 22-year-old guy said, "Yeah, he's with us, you know." He said, No. You got to go in the colored people's car." "Where is that?" "It's up front." There was a lot of discussion about that. And that's when I really first began to realize that this thing called segregation was real, you know. So I got my little bag, said goodbye to the guys, and wandered up through the train to the colored people's car, you know. And I got there and it was jam-packed with folks. I found one seat. And I stayed in the colored people's car until we got to, I think it was Weldon, North Carolina, some town in North Carolina. Got off the train. I had to go to the bus station to get a bus to Jacksonville, North Carolina. And it was early in the morning. Older couple was walking towards me on the sidewalk there, and I was going to the bus station. And as they walked past me, an African-American couple, and they walked past me and they said, "Good morning." That was rather odd. I never had anybody that didn't know me say good morning. That's very suspicious. I thought they were up to something, so I kind of watched them over my shoulder, but they kept walking, you know. Very strange behavior. I wasn't used to that. In our same apartment building, nobody ever said good morning to me, you know. "Get out of the way, kid," or something like that. But I got to the bus station and walked in, and the guy said, "Get out!" "What are you talking? What?" He said, "Get out of here, go around the back." I said, "What's back there?" He says, "You'll see, get out of here." You can't go in the front. You have to go in the colored people's waiting room in the back, you know. So I walked around I saw a sign that said colored only or something, and I went in a little room, and the guy opened the window. It was the same guy. I said, "What do you want?" I says, "I'm going to Jacksonville." Thing. He says, "Wait here." He closed the window, and he came back, and he said, "Give that to the bus driver. The bus will be here in 30 minutes." I said, "Okay." So I waited. There was a couple other people in there, and we got on the bus and went to Jacksonville. Got off the bus at Jacksonville, and I asked some guy, I said, "How do I get to this place called Montford Point?" And he says, "Well, it's a little ways." He said, "It's a long walk." Saw a cab over there, you know, so I said, so I had $2 or $3, you know, so I went over and I opened the back door and I said, "Montford Point," you know. And the guy, "What?" I said, "I'm going to Montford Point." He said, "Where are you from, kid?" I said, "New York." He said, "Oh, another one." He says, "Okay, get in," you know. But see, in the South at that time, if you were colored, as we were called at that time, you just don't do things like that, you know. You ask, "Sir, can you take me to Montford Point?" No, I didn't. In New York, you just get in a cab, you know. So, and you have to be very polite, you know, because you have to be subservient. That's the way it was back in the day, you know. So he took me to Montford Point.